So we often get asked how we found our land and how we were able to get it without getting a mortgage on it. And so when we first moved here, we drove around a ton. We drove all over just trying to figure out the area and figure out which area we liked. And we would look on realtor.com, we would look on Zillow.com, we would look in the paper, we would just anywhere where we could find it. And we actually ended up finding this on the internet. And at the time we couldn't drive up here to even see it because the weather was so bad and the road was horrible. Not even four-wheel drive and chains would get you back here. And so I initially didn't even see it at first for quite a couple weeks at least.
3 months. I was able to get up here. I chained up my truck one time and got up here, and we found other lots around this lot. They're all 40-acre lots on the internet, but when I got up here I actually found a for sale by owner on this lot, and we were able to buy the lot for about $10,000 less than everybody else paid, but we also were able to buy this in such a way where we didn't have to get any financing, we didn't have to get a mortgage, and we didn't have to use our credit, although we have good credit. This is a common issue when people are trying to disconnect and go off grid or start their homestead. Is you're limited because no traditional mortgage will finance a home that is not connected to the power grid. And I hope that changes. I really do, because I think that would incentivize people to do what we're doing. But our options were limited, so we went to the owner of the property and asked if she would carry it if we put money down. And again, like I said, we do have good credit, but she was willing to do it. So we put 10% of the property value down, and she was willing to carry it for 5 years. And the terms that we set with her were in favor of us paying it off fast, and so our intentions are to try and pay it off as fast as we can. But the words or the letters OWC, owner will carry, we look for all the time while we were looking for the property. But like my wife said, I think it was really important to actually get hands-on and get to where we could see it. Part of the reason we were able to get this property for the price that we were able to get it to was because at that time the road was in pretty poor condition, and we've since improved the road. The land, since we have bought it, has probably doubled in value, and maybe even more, although I wouldn't sell it for that. We wouldn't sell it for that. But because we lived in the area, because we moved here, and I've said this on other videos, that by living in the area, we were able to get hands-on and get out and look at it, and we stumbled onto this piece of property that was a for sale by owner. And by the way, every one of these lots was available to be carried, but the terms were different on the other lots, and we felt like this lot had the best potential to build on. It had the best potential for the long-term goals we have with our homestead. And so we pursued this lot, and it was also $10,000 cheaper. I mean, I liked the idea that it was cheaper.
We could see more flat spots on this land than some of the other places that were around here.
But because we were here locally, and because we continued to try and get up here, we signed a contract with the owner. And the crazy part is, within about 3 months, not even that, probably a month and a half, every single lot sold up here because of the same basic conditions that the owner of the land was willing to carry it. And so there's lots of land out there that people are willing to carry. We have good credit, but we didn't use it. But the flip side is we're building on a raw piece of land that has never had a home on it, and we're having to build this out of pocket. And so we chose to go this route versus finding an existing house that we could shoehorn ourselves into that homesteading off-grid category. Off-grid was the goal here. We wanted to go off-grid, but we wanted to live a comfortable life. We weren't looking to live in a teepee, that's for sure. And so we are sacrificing as far as expenses. We're spending more money right now than we thought we would spend on the foundation alone, but we're willing to do it. And so I guess my point I'm trying to make, or the challenge that I would extend to people that are pursuing this, is that if you look in the right areas, if you spend time in the right areas, and a realtor never would have showed us this property, I don't believe, because there was no incentive for a realtor to show us this property. And so we had to get where we were hands-on and where we could tangibly see it. And as soon as the snow melted and my wife came up here and saw the trees just starting to bud out, she was in, right?
For the most part, yeah.
What do you mean?
It was still pretty slick and muddy. I was a little nervous, but it eventually dried out.
Yeah. If you like what you're hearing, you can check out some of our other videos. We've got a whole series going on our entire build process right now. We're building our home over the next 2 to 3 months, and we're documenting everything the best that we can. Go ahead and check out our channel, Red Poppy Ranch, and there's a lot of different things that we've kind of learned along the way.